Morning chaps, I thought I'd do a quick video of the Variac that you might have seen in a few videos. It's a Carroll and Maynell CMV 15E-1 3.6 kVA, 15 amps continuous rating, output between 0 and 270 volts. That's dependent on a 240 volt input. You'll see about that in a minute. So let's see what we can get off it. Try for 60 volts. It's quite fine, the adjustments you've got. You just need to tweak it slightly. There we go. 60. There we go. 60.03. I'm happy with that. Let's try and get 120. Oh, a bit too much. There's 120, near enough. Let's try and go for standard UK 240. What you're going to actually notice, I'm going to have to dial it back quite a bit from the dial, because my input voltage is quite a bit higher than 240. Obviously this dial is only right if you're feeding it 240. So there we go, 240 volts, and the dial's at about 230. 236, 237. So crank it up to the max. 278 volts, near enough. That's dependent on the input voltage. I've seen it as high as 280 sometimes when the input voltage gets a bit rough. I've seen it between anywhere 238 and 250. So obviously when you get it, well, let's turn it off for starters. None of this comes with it. You've got to drill your own holes for the cable input. I've just stick a standard UK metal clad socket on there. You can put whatever you want on it. A 20 amp circuit breaker on the output for safety. All the internals is wired in nice chunky cable. One thing I didn't mention is the Variac has got quite a large inrush current, so when you go to plug it in, there's a good chance, depending on what other load is on the socket circuit is present, that it will trip the main 32 amp MCB. But there's a brilliant YouTuber called Orbiter8. He solved that problem on his Variac by simply wiring in a thermistor to limit the inrush current. I haven't got round to do that at the moment, but that's probably one of the mods I will do in the future. So top tip there. Right, so question is, why do you need a Variac for? Well, you can use it for several things. You can use it to run motors, control the speed of fans, you can bring equipment up which might be faulty and there might be a short in there. You can put some diodes on there and make yourself a small, like, ad hoc DC power supply of any voltage. Old equipment, for example old lamps, you can bring them up slowly. Anyway, let's take the cover off and see what's inside. When we take the cover off, there's not actually much inside one of these. We've just got a very large wire wrapped core, the brush and wiper assembly, terminal blocks for various configurations, 0 volts, 120, normal line voltage of 240, bit of extra overwind up to about 275. Also, these will not isolate from the mains, so be careful. Use an RCD or an earth leakage at the very least to protect yourself should the worst happen.